Bit of Snoop. Beautiful XFM 104.9. Gervais, Merchant, Pilkington. Karl had a treat in the week, didn't he?
He couldn't believe his luck.
We know Darren Brown. You know Darren Brown, the sort of magician, mind reader fella.
It's more special than that.
Well, called me up in town. Said, "Do you mind if we bring along Karl?" He went, "Pleasure." Karl's very cynical, saying, "Well, he won't get into my head."
Yep.
Great, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
He went, "Can I ask him questions?" I went, "Well, no, it's social." He went, "Oh, I'm not coming." I went, "Well," he went, "Well, I'll ask him, I want him to know how he did that trick when he said, you got the winning ticket." I went, he's not going to tell you, he's a magician." He went, "Well, it's not worth it then, if I can't quiz him." But he came along.
I still did though, didn't I? Got in there with the questions that the people wanted to know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, what did you ask him and what did you find out?
I said, how do you do that?
I love the fact that the first half hour, me, Steve and Darren Brown were convincing Karl that he didn't see a ghost when he was 5.
Yeah.
And then we got onto the tricks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it will live in my mind. He won't get inside my head.
Yeah.
And he got inside your head magnificently, Karl, didn't he? I mean, were you not amazed? I mean, Darren promised actually that he would come on the show in the future, and then you, the listeners, can see how he can baffle, amaze, and just generally freak out.
I think we should film everything that happens, right? Because it's just a waste, because you're only getting half of it when you hear what Karl has to say. Because his face, honestly, says 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just, I think we should film it and just put it on a DVD of Karl's facial expressions. This is Karl thinking he saw a ghost.
Yeah.
This is Karl thinking they were going to clone a man moth.
Yeah.
It's just different faces.
So do you want to try and explain what he did and what marvelled you so much?
Right, yeah, he comes in, he sits down, I'm a bit sort of, bit spooked by him straight away.
Oh, you're spooked by him straight away,
Yeah,
really?
there's a weird thing about him, right? So anyway, he sat there, and I'm watching him.
It's because he was naked?
Checking, you know, seeing what he's, you know, looking at and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets his paper out, and I think, right, he's gonna do a bit of trickery and that. And he says to me, "Right, write down a number and a name," right? It was between...
A two-digit number, and a name of anyone you know.
Yeah, right. Now, the thing is, I thought of the name because I was telling Steve earlier about the kid at school who I fell out with, right?
Yeah.
Over that girl who was called Aris,
Yeah.
right? So that name was, like, in my mind, ready to go. Because I didn't want to use anybody's name who I knew, sort of, now, because maybe you've mentioned it in the past. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't say Suzanne.
I knew Colin Makin anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, do you know what I mean? I picked a name, yeah. Well, I thought you might have been thinking about Auntie Nora. So I picked this name, right, that you three didn't really know about, right? Number just came to mind, right? So he
42,
says, right,
we were never thinking of that.
42, right? He said, right, just keep saying it over and over in your head. And I'm there, and he's saying all these sort of different numbers at me, and I'm trying to throw him off a little bit. Every time he said a number that was nothing like 42, I was sort of smiling, looking a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Don't know if you caught that, right?
All I could see was you looking sort of blank.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I was doing
stony
that.
faced.
He picked the wrong person when he said let your mind go blank. You'd realise he picked on the wrong person then.
Right. So,
you had to squeeze his head to get it going again.
I said, Darren, if in doubt, he'll be thinking of monkeys. And Darren looked at Karl and he said, were you thinking of monkeys? He said, I tried not to and I thought of them more.
Right, that's true as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm there thinking of these numbers and that, and then he said, right, let's just talk about other stuff for a bit, right? So I was like, well, I'm not going to say anything, right, because I don't want you to catch me out. But then when we were talking, I was trying to, like, knock him off track.
Clever.
Do you know what I mean? I wasn't... do you know what I mean? I played a bit of hardball with him.
Yeah.
I was, like, saying... Because we were talking about aliens and that as well, weren't we? And I was saying, well, you know, they might come and land again in 2060.
Clever.
You know what I mean? Dropping in different numbers and that. And so, doing all that, playing him at his own game. And I think I had him for a bit.
On the ropes,
right? So, anyway, comes down to the time when he's telling me the name and the number.
Yeah.
And, well, he explained what he actually did. I mean, that was...
He just said, just think of a number at the end of it, and he said, oh, is it